For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Guys, today we have Vanshika Jhingan ma'am with us, and she is the author of Positivepedia. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on our show. I'm truly grateful कि आप हमारे
Thank
show
you,
पर आए.
Gaurav. Thank you, Gaurav, for having me here and giving me the opportunity to speak about my book.
Yeah,
I'm
ma'am.
quite excited to inspire your audience here.
Likewise, ma'am. So, ma'am, like before we get into the podcast and know much more about your book, about your upcoming projects and everything, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you. And do let us know how you started this writing journey as well.
Sure. So, I'm Vanshika, and on a very young age, I started writing books, and I was quite fond of it. And my journey as an author began with a simple love for storytelling and a desire to share my thoughts with the world. I started by writing short stories and blog posts, which gradually evolved into more structured pieces. And then my passion for positivity and mental health led me to write my first book called Positivepedia. And then from there, I continued to explore various topics and formats, eventually publishing my latest journal, Positively Yours. So it's been a rewarding journey of growth, self-discovery, and connecting with readers who share my values.
Definitely, ma'am. So, ma'am, after listening to this podcast, many people will just love to explore your book. They would be very interested in buying it. So, when it comes to talking from
Right.
a new reader's perspective, like what a new reader can expect from your book, can you share some insights with us?
Absolutely. For example, Positivepedia, my vision was to create a comprehensive guide that readers could turn to for a practical advice and inspiration on maintaining a positive mindset. With Positively Yours, that is my journal, I wanted to offer a more interactive experience because
Okay.
I've already tried with the Positivepedia where I've written the poems and people connected with it. So I was like, why not to just design a journal where readers could engage with the content through journaling prompts and reflections, making the journey towards positivity a personal and introspective one.
Okay. But ma'am, as it was your first book, Positivepedia, so you could
Yeah.
have chosen some other topics as well, like the topic which appeal to the masses as of now, like romantic novel, या फिर we can go ahead with the crime thriller, action, all these things as well. But when it comes to talking about this mental health and positivity, what inspired you
Yeah.
to stick on this particular topic? Because it was a kind of, what I personally felt, that it was a kind of risk as well. But what
Right,
what
right,
was
right.
what was your inspiration behind this कि नहीं मैं तो इसी पे ही लिखना है मुझे, that's it.
Actually, my inspiration comes from personal experiences and a deep desire to make a positive impact on others. I've seen the transformative power of positivity, Gaurav, where thinking and mental well-being in my own life and wanted to share these insights. So I was like, why not? So then writing about these topics allows me to reach a broader audience, and contribute to a culture of positivity and resilience, which I think developed after COVID.
Hmm.
So, for example, my first book, Positivepedia, I think that experience was like I am showing myself as a brand there. That experience was different because it not only held the readers, it also held me as a brand that embodies positivity, growth, and authenticity. And my writing has an extension of my values and my commitment, where, I aim helping others navigating life's challenges with a hopeful perspective, which is quite rare in India. And also, I aim to be a trusted source of inspiration and practical advice for my readers. So, yeah, that's how I choose such topics, and I'm doing well in it.
Definitely, ma'am. In fact, ma'am, like almost in 2021 we started this podcast, right?
All
So
right.
when it comes to like the sole purpose of this podcast was like इससे पहले भी हमारे पास एक podcast था The MG Show, and in which we were just
अच्छा,
featuring the celebrities and graphic designer, photographer, and all those things. And earlier then
interesting.
I used to just provide services to the authors. So many authors just wanted to get featured on that show, but the audience was not correct. So that's why we
Right,
started this reading the author, and the sole purpose was to feature such people who really can inspire the people, और जिनको सच में लोगों को जानना चाहिए, right? And I
right,
really feel
right.
blessed to share these kinds of episode with people like you who think something beyond the financial thing, who want to do something for the society. As you said,
Thank
the
you,
topic
thank
of mental health, the positivity, it is something that
you. Right,
even a school going student also need to, as of now in today's world.
right,
लोग कहते हैं कि
right,
ऐसा नहीं है,
right.
बट द काइंड ऑफ स्मार्टफोन्स विच वी हैव, द काइंड ऑफ एक्सेसिबिलिटी विच वी हैव टू द होल वर्ल्ड, द काइंड ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी
Yeah.
वी डेवलप, एंड जो मेंटल हेल्थ की वहां पे वो हालत खराब होती है. सो डेफिनेटली आई जस्ट
Hmm.
फील ब्लेस्ड टू शेयर दीज काइंड्स ऑफ एपिसोड्स, एंड आई एम ब्लेस्ड कि मेरे पॉडकास्ट पे ऐसे एपिसोड्स होते हैं, ऐसे लोग आते हैं. सो थैंक यू सो मच मैम
That's
फॉर चूजिंग अस.
that's really sweet of you. I've just, spoken a lot about me. It's not like that. It's just, I'm just aiming to bring out some creativity and bringing the discipline of writing process in, mental health sectors as well, which is quite rare in India, is what I always aimed. And also further, it has, resulted in personal transformation at the same time. I have, whenever I've written, I always think why I'm writing it. Then I used to focus on and analyze on myself that okay, I think as an author, I have focused a lot on positivity, that I just aim to maintain it and spread it at the same time. So for example, I strive to maintain a balanced mental state by practicing what I preach. This includes like regular self-care, mindfulness, and staying connected with supportive people. And that's what my book also, motivates about. And writing about positivity also serves as a constant reminder for me to stay grounded and optimistic. And that's what, my readers also get. I really want my readers try to, get inspired by that at the same time. So yeah, this is new to the society of India, and I think this is something which people are also growing and learning about. So yeah.
Okay. So my next question to this podcast is like, what are some key themes or messages that you want that readers to take away from your book and from your journal as well? Anything like that? That, specificity?
So for storytelling, Gaurav is a very powerful way to convey messages of, for example, I choose positivity and growth because it makes abstract concept, which is relatable and tangible. So I use personal anecdotes and fictional narratives and real life examples to illustrate my points, making them more engaging and memorable for readers. So my process involves reflecting on my life experiences and identifying the lessons learned. I then think about how these insights can benefit others and craft my writing to highlight those aspects. So, for example, this journal called Positively Yours, I aim there that journaling and brainstorming will help me and plus my readers to organize their thoughts and transform them into a meaningful content. So that's, I think, one thing. And also the most powerful impact my writing can have is inspiring readers to make positive changes in their lives. Whether it's adopting a more optimistic mindset, practicing gratitude, or taking steps towards personal growth. I just only hope that my writers empowers readers to improve their well-being and and live more fulfilling lives, which is really lacking in these days. And yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. So, ma'am, like, we are in this particular industry for more than 8 years as of now. And personally, I have
Yeah,
been in touch with more than, 400, 450 authors. What I have
right,
personally felt that, most of them are working to create a personal brand, or they want to be known or remembered as a certain genre or certain type of author, right? So when it comes to you,
Right.
like if a person sees ki, okay, it's a new book by Vanshika ma'am after a couple of years, and the person have
Yeah.
already read your journal, already read your book, so what sort of sudden impact you want to create on that reader's mind, like कि अच्छा ठीक है वंशिका मैम की बुक है, ऐसी होगी या मुझे ये पढ़ने को मिलेगा. Ever thought about that, personal branding thing?
हाँ, of course. See, मैं repetitively यही बोल रही हूँ that I see myself as a brand already. And that not only embodies positivity, growth, but also authenticity, as I said earlier. So my writing is an extension of my values and my commitment of helping others. So I aim to be a trusted source of inspiration at the same time. And then also, in long term, I am planning to write more books and journals that delve deeper into positivity and mental health, so that me as a brand can grow, and also not only me but the aim at the same time, because every brand need an aim, and if the aim grows, it brings an impact. And I also aim to expand my reach through workshops, speaking engagements, and collaborations with other authors and influencers. So ultimately, I hope to build a community of like-minded individuals who support and uplift each other. So I will say, yeah, I think I want to grow as a brand, but not literally a brand, but just to grow this community more powerful as a brand. Not individually, I want to grow as a brand. I want to be part of this community and grow together as a brand.
Okay. Not so, ma'am, like as we talked about the perspective of a new reader, right? So now coming to the people who have
Absolutely.
already read your book, already read your journal, so what they can expect from you as of now? Like, are you writing something? Is there anything in the pipeline?
There's actually a lot, but
Okay.
I think this is something that I may disclose bit later, because
Okay.
my books are quite moody and fluctuates according to the type. Earlier I wrote the poetries. I wrote like 2 to 3 books, and it has been based on poetries and all. But now I have turned into designing journals and all. And it has been published internationally, especially in UK. It's available. So I think I'm looking forward to publish more of journals, because I'm seeing good response, and I think people are enjoying that more. So yes, let's see, finger cross.
Definitely, ma'am. So as of now, like what's your current writing schedule? Like every day you devote some particular hours to your writing, or it's like random, someday you get some thoughts, you just jot it down on your phone, on your diary, and after that you elaborate. How does it goes with you?
So, Gaurav, I try to maintain a regular writing schedule to stay disciplined and productive by a lot of ways, because in today's time there's so much chaos, and I'm right now from the capital city of India called, Delhi. It's full of chaos. So I try to keep myself flexible enough to write whenever inspiration strikes. So for balancing both approaches helps me stay, consistent while also capturing those spontaneous bursts of creativity. So there is no schedule, in short.
Okay. So, ma'am, like what I have personally felt that after the first lockdown was over, the number of
Yeah.
author got increased very rapidly. Like there was a boom in this industry, and every week we can say hundreds of books are being published. Publishing has become much more easier as well. We have KDP, we have lots of self-publishing, and literary agents are
Right,
also
right,
there.
right.
So when it comes
Yeah,
to you, as you have completed this whole journey, so
yeah.
how do you see this industry? Like अपनी book को stand out कराना अभी कितना मुश्किल हो गया because of this tough competition, because of the numbers of books getting published every week. So what's your take on this?
See, I agree that the competition is certainly growing tougher with the influx of new books. However, I believe that staying authentic and true to my voice helps me stand out. And readers can sense genuine passion and dedication, and that's what I strive to convey through my work.
Okay. Okay. So, ma'am, what I personally feel that, many a times that in most of the scenarios, when it comes to the creative people, they often face a kind of thing named as block. And when it comes to writing, it is known as writer's block, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
according to you, look, as you have written on this particular topic related to positivity, mental health, and all. So, how do you stay
Right.
inspired to generate these new ideas and, keep your ideas and mind fresh and writing engaging as well? Like, how do you do all these things?
Okay, so let me talk about how I stay inspired. So I
Hmm.
stay inspired by reading widely, staying curious and engaging with diverse perspectives. I just love it. I also draw inspiration from everyday life, personal experiences and stories of others. So keeping a journal helps me capture ideas as they come, ensuring that my writing remains fresh and engaging. This is one that makes keeps me inspired. And when it comes to how I balance the creativity,
Mm-hmm.
so I think balancing creativity involves setting clear goals and deadlines while allowing room for creative exploration. So I schedule dedicated writing time and stick to it, but I also give myself the freedom to experiment and let ideas flow naturally.
Hmm.
This balance, at the end, Gaurav, ensures that I stay productive without stifling my creativity. So
Okay.
I think that's how my storytelling conveys things out at the end as a result.
Okay, but how do you manage between, how do you actually balance between creativity and discipline in your writing process then?
As I said, I have dedicated writing time and stick it to it. I have
Hmm.
dedicated a time or a day of time where I just give it to creativity.
Okay.
So, but it's not like that I have put any barrier on it. I give myself a space at the same time. I don't
Hmm.
want that. Okay, 2 बज गए अब मेरे को क्रिएटिविटी के बारे में कुछ सोचना है नहीं. It depends at the same time.
Yeah.
So yahi hai. It's all about that कि I have given myself freedom to experiment. So
Hmm.
whenever in the whole day, whenever I feel like okay, I need to experiment now, so I do it at the. There's nothing like a specific time or anything for it, and I think it should never be there.
Hmm. Definitely, ma'am. In fact, I just read the quote the other day. It was written that creativity is something that follows you. You can't chase it. So that's also quite
Yeah,
appropriate.
right,
So
right, exactly.
what I personally feel that, ma'am, like I also create contents for colleges and schools as well sometimes. So what I feel
Oh,
that
interesting.
sometimes when I just create content and during that process I think कि ऐसा मैं अपने लाइफ में भी तो कर सकता हूँ या फिर अच्छा ठीक है मुझे कोई थॉट आया तो अब मैं इसको अपने लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करूंगा लाइक उसके साथ साथ अपनी लाइफ भी
Hmm.
ट्रांसफॉर्म होती रहती है. So when it
Right,
comes
right, right.
to you, like how do you see this relationship between the writing and personal transformation? ऐसा कभी कि कुछ लिख रहे हैं और ऐसा लगे कि नहीं ये चीज तो मैं अपने लाइफ में भी कर सकती हूँ, राइट? तो साथ साथ वो
See,
ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, हाउ डू यू
yeah.
सी दैट?
I think I love learning and I always stay open to learning by seeking feedback, attending workshops and reading extensively. So embracing a growth, Gaurav, वो एक mindset बन जाता है that allows me to view challenges as opportunities for improvement. Also, I'm always looking for ways to own my craft and expand my knowledge. So I'm always there to take negative comments, or if I say I call it a lesson and I call it that as I said, I love learning. So I just take it as a learning, implement on it and work on it is all I believe on.
Okay, okay, okay. So ma'am, like let's get back to the time when you heard कि okay ठीक है tomorrow your book will be live, the first one, Positivepedia, right? So on that
Right, right.
particular eve, what was going on in your mind? Like were you relaxed, excited? You just marked up some milestones. Okay, these many people know me. My book has to be sold out. These many copies. What was going on in your mind, ma'am?
I think during that time I was quite excited. I think I my emotions were not processing, to be very honest, Gaurav. So this is a very bad question that I can't I'm not even answerable to it because my emotions never process on the right time. So this is
Hmm.
an issue with me. So
Okay.
I think that was a difficult time for me. because for the first time I was coming out to the world and was quite open to diverse perspectives, which I won't say was difficult, but it was quite enjoyable because I think being a writer, I have always aimed that you know क्या होता है ना, जैसे एक एजुकेशन होती है ना, वो एक पावरफुल वेपन होती है, ऐसे एक राइटर के लिए ना जो पर्सपेक्टिव्स होते हैं ना डाइवर्स, वो एक पावरफुल वेपन होता है विच वी यूज इट टू चेंज द वर्ल्ड बाय changing our writing schedule, or maybe the by changing how our readers want us to be. And I think the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. So I think that's what I implement on myself, and live as if you were to die tomorrow by learning things out.
Okay. So probably, ma'am, my last two questions of this podcast. A is, what's the best piece of advice you have ever received? And B, how has it shaped your writing journey as of now?
I think I don't believe in quotes a lot. So, but as we are talking a lot of, a term called learning, I think my favorite quote is, I remember reading it somewhere that a learning curve is essential to growth. And I think I implemented every minute on myself. I think because I was quite young when I was, I aimed to publish a book, and I think I have heard a lot of criticism because maybe it was not clear in terms of language, it was not clear in terms of structuring, but I think it was fun at the same time because I was learning more about myself, and exploring myself is something that I started enjoying a lot. And this quote just taught me that how to, keep me deep motivated. And I think I believe in learning as if you will live forever, live like you will die tomorrow, as I said. So yeah, this is one quote that I think I'm gonna keep it for my lifetime. And sorry, what was your second question, Gaurav?
The second question was that how it has helped you in writing and how it has shaped your writing.
That is, I think, because I have been very open on learning and evolving as a writer. So I think मेरा एक mindset रहा है कि अपनी growth को embrace करूँ मैं, और मैंने opportunities देखी है जिसमें मैं अपने आप को improve कर सकूँ. तो I think ये चीज मैंने implement करी है अपने ऊपर और अभी भी कर रही हूँ. तो अभी I think there are times when I have felt that it's only after you have stepped outside your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow and transform. और ये ना मैंने बहुत लोगों को बोलते हुए जरूर देखा है पर इम्प्लीमेंट करते हुए नहीं देखा है, बट मैं आई हैव डिसाइडेड टू इम्प्लीमेंट ऑन इट. सो जैसे ही आई एम लर्निंग थिंग्स आउट, आई एम स्टेपिंग आउटसाइड माय कंफर्ट एंड इम्प्लीमेंटिंग ऑन इट, एंड दैट्स हाउ इट एंडिंग विद इट.
Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this lovely and inspiring conversation with Vanshika ma'am. And if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. आप जैसे Amazon पे जाएं, वहाँ पे सर्च करें पॉजिटिवपीडिया, या फिर आप सर्च कर सकते हैं वंशिका झिंगन मैम की बुक आ जाएगी. ज़रूर खरीदें, पढ़ें और अपने चाहने वाले, जानने वालों से ज़रूर शेयर करें. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on our show. It was my honor to be able to host you today.
Thank you, Gaurav. You have been amazing. You have been amazing with me and cooperator. Thank you so much. And thanks for hearing me out to all the people who are just hearing till now.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Thank you.